Hello, everybody. Excited to paint with you today, as always. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Be sure to say hi in the chat, and I look forward to painting with you today. So I'm seeing green and yellow. The thing I like to do is you can cut a circle in a piece of paper and go like this. And when I isolate the color, it's nearly black down there, and it's a very Yeah, it's nearly like it's kind of a brown black down here. And then as I move up, it's not this lime green that I'm thinking. It's more of like a dark brown green, almost black. And then up here, kind of a dusky olive, dusky sap green. Let's see if I can create that. I'm going to start with my base, which is the phthalo blue green shade. Fun. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the new gamboge and put that in there. Take it to kind of a grass green, right? And I'm going to take this yellow right here. I mean, that's actually pretty close to the color I need. How funny. Just this contamination. So basically my gamboge had a little bit of the scarlet contaminating the well. And then that along with the phthalo blue-green shade takes you into this kind of yellow ochre color. And then as you add the phthalo blue-green shade, a little tiny bit at a time, you can take it to that dusky green. So I'm thinking that'll work for my dusky green. It's not a very pretty color. I'm hoping that when painted though, it'll make sense. And then for this guy, I need it to be a little bit on the brown side. So I added some more gamboge. This is phthalo blue-green shade, new gamboge, and then I'm going to put some rose in there. See how it shifted it to more of a kind of a green olive, but I want it even darker, so I'm going to stay with those colors. The phthalo blue-green shade, the little scarlet red. Ooh, I'm getting closer. That's getting really dark, but I want to make sure it's dark enough. So I'm going to do a little more of the scarlet red. Now it's become very much a dark brown, army green kind of color. And then I'm going to just shift this a hair more cool. Yeah, let's see how those colors work. And then I need a really strong, powerful color to splatter into the background. So a nice gamboge. And then I'll do it again, and this time I'll add a little bit of the Pyrrole Scarlet or the Quin Rose. I think I'm gonna do the Quin Rose because I just fell into it anyways. There we go. Get a nice, so I kind of have this dusky orange color. Okay, so I have my splatters and I have my greens. And then see what these colors look like, wet into wet. Ooh, those are cool colors, aren't they, guys? Those are really cool greens. My goodness. And then we have this yellow And have this kind of orange, dusky red. Really cool. So for that part, we're going to do poured, background, and splatter colors, splatters. There we go. So you got to put enough water down so when you pour the colors in, they have somewhere to go. They'll kind of spread out, blend, and that kind of thing. Having painted with this this paper for a couple months now, I realized that it doesn't hold up to a lot of layers. So I want to try and get it one and done. So now I'm going to take that darker color. And go ahead and pour it in. I'm going to put my mask on and hope that most of my flower will get protected from any kind of splatters. Putting the dark mainly on the bottom, just a little bit up on top. And then I'm going to take that other green we made. I'm going to use that for the top. Now pours are tricky and wonderful. So I'm going to try and get some of this to run over to the tape line. And then when it gets to the tape line, I can sop it up. But I have to be sure it doesn't flow over into areas I don't want it to. So, well, it's at this point, you can go in and do some corrections too if you need to. This is a real test of that tape also to see if it will hold up to this amount of paint and water on it. Now the two colors are starting to blend so much that they're kind of all blending together. If you don't get the majority off, what happens is it'll gather, like you know how the paper buckles, it'll gather down in one of the valleys, and then it will create blooms and blossoms that might not be your favorite. Okay, so let's get some of that yellow now and do some splatters to mimic flowers in the background. And anywhere where it's getting crazy, you could start drawing. Take some of that orange red too. Kind of drawing as I go, trying to get some of the splatters to preserve. Actually warm background that I'm going to put a little bit more phthalo blue green shade into each of these to cool them just a touch for this next step. And then as you go back up into the area that's going to be loose and free, you can re-wet it. To soften some of those blooms that are up there. Just go in, re-wet it, connect it to the part you were working on. There we go. And just put some color, some wet and wet color on that part. And that way it'll be harder and then softer as you go up. So here is our finished painting, our Mark's diary. So I have the recipe for later. And a new type of background for painting sunflowers. And being that this was a sketchbook study, I was able to take some risks that I might not normally do. Thank you for joining me today and being a part of this Mark Makers project. And if you have any requests for future studies, sketchbook studies, be sure to put it in the comments or into the members section and let me know other projects you would like to do as we go through our Marks sessions. Happy painting to everybody. Have a great weekend.